What up? Gonna do a little cash game here. I actually got a bunch of people that are playing right now on my friends list, but including one of my church friends who's actually leveled up higher than I am. But I got more chips, I think. He's playing a 1-2 fast table or whatever. Let me check what he's doing. Yeah, he's playing a $1 and $2, 1 and 2 chip fast table. Here I'm playing the 500,000 or 500,000 usual deal. 501k blinds. Or let me try that again. The blinds are 500 and 1,000 is what I'm trying to say. Um, we got two all-ins here. I got I got a straight flush versus a straight and a bigger straight. So now about the only chip stack I've got to worry about. I've got to worry about Atmas and Giuseppe's and Andrews because they're either around my stack size or they're bigger than my stack size. I'm buying it for 200k, obviously. Um, Rodney over here, he's got 107k, 106k, and uh, he's got 730 total, so he's got about 600 behind, about 624 behind. Um, got some water here. Since this is gonna fold to us, we got Japanese science here is gonna get busted out. So this is gonna open or gonna fold to us, or it's gonna get to us. It's gonna call to us. We're just gonna open it here to 3,000 with King 6. I know it's not much, but and Debbie here is pretty short, obviously, and now with the re-raise, it's only 2,000 more. I've got 200 bigs, so and that was a shitty flop. Oh god, yeah, but unlike my last video where I did the last poker video I did where it was cut up into parts, this one's just going straight through. I'm not gonna cut this one up because I may do some pauses every now and then, but fuck, man. But because of the new YouTube upload limits, I can upload videos longer than 15 minutes. And to test that, I did that. Now I got a pair, but to test that, I did that Topps Chrome break a couple days ago. That was like 21 minutes, and it uploaded just fine. Yeah, I think Rodney hit his flush, so we're gonna fold. So I'm gonna give this a shot, and as long as it's not like insane, I think the new upload limit in terms of size of files like 20 gigs. So if anything, it'll take a crap load of time for it to upload in terms of how I usually upload files. I usually don't upload files that are bigger than like 50 megs, 60 megs, especially considering that it's the direct cam upload, or not the direct cam upload, but the screen capture. But in this case, it would be a bigger file, obviously. So, and we just have a new player at the table. So obviously, the stacks I need to look out for, like I said, are Giuseppe's stack. He doesn't have a level to him. Atma's stack, who's got over 15 mil, is a level 96. So obviously, Atma's big time player. And Andrew, whose stack is close to mine. Really, those are the only three stacks I got to worry about. Jennifer, Lee, and Rodney just joined, but Jennifer's my level. Rodney's just gave up a bunch of his stack a couple hands ago to Giuseppe, and Lee's just a couple levels above me, so I'm not too terribly worried about Jennifer and Lee, but if they show that they're good, as you can see, both of them, Jennifer's got more than I do behind, but she's putting in less. But Lee's got obviously much less than I have behind. And Rodney's a level 45 and he's got 743 total. He's playing this hand. Well, to start this hand. But those are the stacks I got to worry about mainly. I'm not too terribly worried about Debbie, and I'm not as worried about Charles, although he does have 2.5 mil. Or he's sorry about that. That you just heard my stomach gurgle. I know that was a very unnatural noise, but if you heard that, but But Charles, I'm not too terribly worried about, even though he does have 2.5 mil total. This will be folding. I thought that I got an invite or something, but yeah. This is again gonna go straight through. Damn it! I would have only flop bottom pair. I was gonna do a had to drink some water. I was gonna do a weekly tournament video, but I deleted that because that was the weekly tournament. It's basically what you need to know. It's a place for newbies to get to brush up their skills and to earn some chips. If you're decent, you'll probably place in the top 20%, no problem. The best I've placed is in the top 1%. I was in like the top 3,000 or something, or like the top 4,000, somewhere in that range. That was the last time I played the weekly tournament. But typically, the best way to get a point across about the weekly tournament is to do a video at the beginning of the week when it starts, like the first day, because once it gets to the end of the week, you already got people that have like 50 mil, 60 mil in chips, and you don't see a lot of guys that are new that just started the tournament. So it's where everybody starts at an even playing field, mostly. So I may do a video then, but I'm probably not sure. Anyways, this is going up regardless of regardless of whether or not I win or lose. And wow, hit his set on the end. Looks like I gotta. Oh, he went all in. Wow, looks like I gotta worry about Rodney even more now. He's got more chips than I do now. And Atma just left, so there goes one less stack. I'm gonna fold this in early position. But let's see. So Rodney hit his set on the end, or hit his set on the turn. I think Atma had 2 pair, if I'm not mistaken. So Charles is all in. Debbie's all in. Giuseppe folds, so we got 1 player all in. Rodney's gonna call down Charles, so we got 2 people all in. Just ignore the chat there. So you got Ace King versus King 5 versus King 8. A lot of kings in that one. Ace King I can understand shoving with, but I can't really understand. Ace King I can understand playing, but I don't. But in a cash game atmosphere, when you've got 40 something big blinds, and you can still play. Well, it is sort of a stack that you can't really play too well, I guess, but you can't really play with that much. But about the only that's the only good hand I see. King 8 I can't really see calling with unless you're trying to call really light. Unless you're really wanting to call really light, I can't really see calling with that. King 3 I obviously, or whatever that other one was. King 3 I think it was. I honestly, whatever that third, only Charles really had any business being in the hand. Rodney's hand and Debbie's hand I really couldn't see them calling with. I couldn't see myself calling with those hands. Because it's one of those things where you got to consider. Oh, that ripped clean. It's one of the things where like it's not the kind of hand like King 3 or King 8. I mean, King Jack I could consider calling with. King Queen I would. Rodney hit a straight. Wow. So the rich get richer, I guess. Alright, damn it. I thought it was going to be pocket 8s, but we're just fault that one. But again, King 8 or King Queen or whatever I can. We got MD going all in here. So Debbie put in 87,000, I guess. 87,000 or 86. So Giuseppe just left the table. Just ran out of time. So, and now Giuseppe just bought back in. So at least I was gonna say if he's gonna lead the table, and Andrew's still typing. Dude, you know there's a time limit. Okay, so Lee calls with King 5 against Ace 6. And wow, it is set on the end. It is set on the turn and then on the end. Okay, King Jack we're going to open with, no matter what happens here. So now Lee's stack I got to worry about a little bit, but that was a kind of a loose call with just a marginal king. It wasn't a big king. King 5 suited. I mean, it was suited, but still, that was a loose call. Especially for, what, 40... however much it was, 55,000. Okay, so this we're going to open. We're going to open with the King Jack. Charles is called. So now we have Taz and Kwang at our table. Kwang is buying in for the minimum. Again, I facepalm at these people. I roll my eyes at these people that just buy in for the minimum when they have enough chips to make a decent buy-in. Like if you're not gonna buy in for more than the minimum, then what are you doing at this table? He's got 300. Okay, so we hit our jack there. He's got 329,000 total. He can put in 100,000, 150. Okay, so we'll open this up to 14,000 with the top pair. Probably gonna end up. No, I was gonna say we're probably gonna end up taking it down, but Debbie called. Hoping to get Lee out and Debbie out, or Lee and Giuseppe out of the way. I'm just gonna check this on the turn, see what Debbie does here. And now I hit 2 pairs, so I'm gonna bet 36,000, and it's Snap Muck. So I didn't expect the Snap Muck from Debbie. I thought Debbie was going to. I thought Debbie was gonna actually call with the way. I guess Debbie didn't hit his hand, or Debbie didn't hit her hand on the turn, and so on the end she's just like whatever, cause she snap mucked. I guess cause she clicked the button as well. Like she clicked the button that said fold. She check marked the button that said fold, but still that was a pretty that was a snap fold by her. But then again, that bet that I made was. I could have just bet the pot and that would have saved a lot of time, but not knowing what she had, it would have just been in my best it just would have been in my best interest to make the call or to bet like just over half the pot, and I did, so, and it worked out. So it worked out. Won a decently sized pot. I'm up 37k now. So, that's pretty good. So, I'd like to make 100k on this one, on this session. That'd be ideal, but at least make up like 100k. Just be 100 buy-in, or 100 big blinds. So, if I can make at least 50, the bare minimum, that'd be awesome. Or if I can at least get a profit, that'd be good. Even if it's a small one. I think my best session was like when I bought in for 200 and ended up about 100k up. So I'd like to at least beat that. But again, in that spot, now Debbie's moved all in here, but be interesting to see what Debbie has. I see what Taz justifies calling with. Nope. Never mind. So, in the button, actually, if the button full, or if it gets to us without a raise, nah. If I was gonna say if it gets to us, and I'm willing to bet Kwang, no, Kwang. I guess Quang actually didn't have a hand. Because I was thinking Quang was going to actually... Wow, what a flop second pair. But I think Quang was going to actually... would have actually... fuck, can't think of the name of it now. I think Quang would have actually... It would have just... Because he only bought in for 10,000, he would have probably bet and probably just pushed himself all in real light, but I don't think he'd do it super wide. He'd probably just play like a short stack and hope to get lucky and get some chips, but I don't know. I mean, I don't understand why these people buy in for the minimum, play like one hand. I mean, some people, this really bugs me. People buy in for the minimum, play one hand, and then just leave. Sometimes. Now, Quang's not doing that, but still he's buying in for the minimum when he's got enough to make a decent sized buy-in. He's even got enough to make the max buy-in of 200k, which is what I've done. Obviously, because I've got almost 4 times the max buy-in. But, I don't know. I guess that's just their prerogative. Or derogative, or whatever you want to use the word. I'm probably not using that word right, but... Rodney just made a huge overbet of the pot after Taz made it 10k. So that tells me that Rodney hit his straight, or hit something. Probably hit a set. Taz just shoved. This is a snap call. He had a straight, 6-high straight, so he did hit a straight. But Taz hit his on the end as well. So, I'm not surprised. So now I gotta worry about Taz's stack. I can understand. I guess hitting, like, he made the big overbet after Taz made the after the bet by Taz. Taz made the bet 10k, and then Rodney overbet, what was it, 89k, and then Taz insta-shoved after everybody else folded. Taz shoved all in, and then Rodney called the last 6k, and both had straights, which I don't fault his play there. I really don't fault his play, but he just got unlucky. And so now Quang's probably going to push himself all in. No, he folded. Oh my god. And he left. Well, at least he stayed around for more than one hand. But yeah, I don't fault Rodney's play. They're trying to make overbet. But Taz had the better straight. I would have thought that Rodney hit his set. We got some betting going on here. I would have thought that Rodney hit his set, but he obviously didn't. He hit his straight on the end. He hit his 6-high straight. Whereas Taz, I think, had the 9-high straight. And now we got some 4-betting. Let's see, so Giuseppe bet the pot. Jennifer 2-betted it. Giuseppe 3-bet it. And then Jennifer 4-bet it. And then everybody else called. So the pot's already up to 72k. And all 3 players have relatively deep... all 4 players have relatively... Obviously, Giuseppe's got the deepest stack out of all 4. But all 4 have relatively deep stacks. Decent stacks. Jennifer just made a 13k. Which is... You're getting a lot on your money. You're getting just an insane price to call with that. Pot's up to 100k, and you got 2 players that are about... You get 66,000 for Debbie, 65,000 for Jennifer, and Giuseppe at just under 300k. So I'm surprised that no one bet there. And Jennifer hit a straight. I'm surprised she didn't bet the river with her straight. She bet the flop and turn with her straight draw. She bet the flop with her backdoor straight draw, and after it got to her, she ended up 4-betting it at the end, and then she ended up betting 13,000 on the turn, which is a straight draw. But on the end, she didn't make Debbie or Giuseppe pay to see, or she didn't try and get paid off, which I I kind of can't see happening. I don't understand that. I mean, if you hit your straight on the end, you got to make a bet. I guess she didn't think that either why am I pointing at the screen, that either Giuseppe or Debbie had any hands to call with. But then again, and now here she is two betting it again. After that's actually three bet. Never mind. Charles bet 2,000. Now it's and then it went. So it's actually I think four bet it now, if I'm not mistaken. Charles made it 2,000. Taz made it 4,000. And then Jennifer, after Giuseppe and Debbie called, made it 6,000. So we're not even at the flop. We just got to the flop and it's 38,000 in the middle. But yeah. But I like I said, if you're gonna make a bet, if you may, I guess the only possible reason why Jennifer didn't bet the end with her straight was that she thought that she probably didn't think that either Debbie or Giuseppe had a hand that they could call with any sort of bet. So I guess that's the whole deal there, but that's just probably my theory. That's my theory. I mean, I either that or Jennifer didn't realize that she could get some money on the end with a straight. But then again, that's Facebook poker. You're not expecting these people to know what to do. That's what Poker Stars, Full Tilt, Power Poker, yada yada yada, 888 AAA Poker, or whatever you want to call that one, all those other real poker sites. That's what those sites are for. This is sort of just so that you get a grasp of the game and have fun with it. I don't know why I make these videos, but I do, because, I mean, it's like, you know, I promised myself I was going to make some poker videos, and now I do, so. Like I said earlier, I really want to get up to 300k total, or not 300, like 300k, or make 100k off my buy-in. I bought in for 200,000. And I'm up 37k, and Taz just made 25,000 on the end. So I'm thinking he may have hit his straight. It'd be interesting to see if Lee shoved back over the top. Be very interesting. Nope, he just folded. And my game just froze. Okay, there we go. Nope, never mind. It's taking a while. And we will obviously be folding the 9 and the 3. I got everybody sending me Madden NFL Superstars requests. It's ridiculous. I need to get back into playing that game, but obviously we'll be folding with the 9 and the 3. I would try and take a poo right now, but I kind of can't because this game doesn't have a sit out feature. If this game doesn't have a sit out feature, that's kind of a drawback. And Rodney just left. No, not Rodney. Person that was down here. Who was that person? Lee. Lee left. Okay. And Ace-10 will be betting. First hand in a while, or first hand in the last like 10-15 minutes that I've been able to play. So it's a $6,000 bet here. And we are 1, 2, 3. And Giuseppe just left. Brad is now at our table. And he supports Notre Dame. Connie is now at our table as well. Alright, in this circumstance, I'm going to bet the pot. And Brad just left. Makes no sense. I'm going to bet the pot. I mean, we got Debbie, who doesn't have a big stack, has only got 40,000 in front. Jennifer, who's got more than enough to make the call, and I ended up getting the walk. So I I don't know. I figured I'd just make the pot size bet because nobody was doing anything. Nobody was gonna do anything on that flop, and only two players were behind. So now we're four-handed. And I would have hit second pair. So, hold, yeah. So, yeah, this is, pretty interesting here. I may I may end it right here in a few minutes. I need to go take a shower anyway. You know, with the four and the deuce will just fold. I'll just, leave. So, so there you go. Relatively short session. I obviously could have gone on longer, but I do need to take a shower. That and it's getting kind of late, and I need to go to bed soon here. So that's their session. I ended up 43,000 up, which isn't bad. It's not great, but it isn't bad. So that's it. Peace.